Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy and this is Disciple Makers. There's a place where we are courageously striving to multiply followers of Jesus Christ. So the next couple of months, we're going to do this sub-series within these videos. And we're going to explore what would it actually look like to follow Jesus? What would it actually look like to do what Jesus tells us to do? What would it actually look like to live the way Jesus tells us to live? And so today's question is, how do I win? I bet you've wondered in your Christian life, in your life in general, like, how do I win? What is the point of all of this, and how do I have ultimate victory? I have here a trophy. We won this trophy as a team at our summer camp at NTS camp last summer. There's 4 teams. We were all competing throughout the week to try to win the trophy. Our team won. And so I'm sure if you're like me, you enjoy winning. You enjoy victory. You enjoy winning a board game. You enjoy winning a competition. You enjoy winning an athletic competition. You enjoy winning an argument. You enjoy the idea of being right and winning and having victory. And so in Jesus' time, this mentality was the exact same. People love to win. In fact, as Jesus' life here on earth was coming to an end, he wanted to enjoy one last meal with his disciples. It's referred to now today as the Last Supper. So Jesus gets together with his disciples and they're at, I imagine, this long table and they're enjoying this final meal together. And all of a sudden, amongst the disciples, we read in the Gospel of Luke that an argument broke out amongst them as to who was the greatest. Essentially, of the 12, who wins? As though this was this 3-year competition to see, okay, Jesus, here's my case. I did this and this and this, and I didn't do this like Peter did that, and I did this and this and this. Did I win? Am I the greatest? And this argument breaks out amongst them until Jesus does something. He doesn't settle the dispute. He doesn't say, hey, you're greater than him. You're the one who won. You're the one who takes this 3-year prize home. It says that Jesus, in John chapter 13, he simply got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. Jesus gets up in the midst of this debate. Who's the greatest? Who won? Jesus takes off his outer clothing, puts a towel around his waist. He goes and grabs a water basin and he begins, one at a time, to wash his disciples' grody, disgusting feet. For Jesus, it wasn't about who's the greatest. It wasn't about who wins. It wasn't about answering the question, how do I win? For Jesus, it was about him loving his disciples in such a way that they could not help but be struck by his love and his mercy and his grace. In fact, the beginning of that chapter, it says, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And then it says he wanted to show them the full extent of his love. That is how we win. That is how we as Christians win. What does it look like for us to show other people in our lives, our families, our friends, our coworkers, our neighbor, people we don't even like or get along with? What does it look like for us to show them the full extent of our love? What does it look like for us to serve them in a way that can't help but do anything but just drop their jaw in awe of the way that they have been served and loved? We don't think of winning like this, but that's the way Jesus thought of loving. And so, disciple makers, what does it look like for us to actually live the way Jesus called us to live? What does it look like in Jesus' command for us to go and wash other people's feet as well? What does it look like for us to show other people the full extent of our love and God's love for them? Let's go this week in our discipleship relationships and push each other, challenge each other, that winning is all about loving. Winning isn't about us getting what we ultimately want or we think we deserve. Loving in the way Jesus loved is to show other people the full extent of God's love. Let's go and love one another just as Jesus loved us and has called us to love others as well. Let's go.